me tell you about it. Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about it. Join the crowd. Lights, camera, action, it's on. New black film revolution born. Movers, shakers, big and little filmmakers. Let's make a movie today, see where it take us. Halle Berry, Denzel, and Jamie. Terrence Howard, Mike D, and Spike Lee. Brand new filmmaker born every day. Put a camera in his hand and let him lead the way.
Philly's music scene has a legacy of great talent. Have you met Lady Alma?
It's really good to experience the live first, because you don't even realize just the energy she creates worldwide. It doesn't matter the language or what country or whatever. Alma always communicates just love and freedom to be who you are. Once you hear her, you're gonna follow her forever. She's the bomb, that's it.
I want whatever emotion they have, I want them to feel and let it come out. You know, if you're not happy, I would like to change that. But if not, be mad.
Put your hands together. I know it's tight, but it's right. I know it's tight, but it's right. Dreams are far from reality. Thoughts within for you and me. You got to open up your mind to see. It's a beautiful fantasy. Yeah.
When I heard Alma, it was like the first time I heard Shaka Khan, the first time I heard Nancy Wilson, the first time I heard Dee Dee Bridgewater.
You got to open up.
She's 100% soul.
What I do, I can't do that. She just had everybody mesmerized and exhilarated and, you know, like raising their hands.
It could be 10 people there. She's gonna give it her all, and that's where the difference is.
She's not an overnight success. She's been out there plugging away for years.
Hello everyone, my name is Alma Horton, but better known as Lady Alma. I'm not dramatic, only on stage when you make me mad. When you make me mad, that's about it though. I'm born in San Diego, California, but I was raised in Philadelphia. I started singing at 3 years old with a gospel choir with my mom called the Freedom Choir. I was the only child in this adult choir, and then I went on to Girard Academic Music Program, also Settlement Music School after school, to just continue to educate myself about my craft. Hooking up with King is really the foundation of my career.
I used to do this club called Silk City, which we all know, it's right on 5th and Spring Garden. But one day, we hear this voice in the audience, so we turn the record down and but it's not in the record, and it sounded like it was in the record. I mean, it was for real, like no joke. And it was Alma and Tanja Dixon. We're like, damn, these girls are flowing, they're killing it.
Easy, baby. You got me turning to another man. Called you on the phone. No,
the song on the Columbia label is entitled Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, and they are known as Silk 130.
Last night a DJ saved my life. Last night a DJ saved my life from a broken heart. Last night a DJ saved my life. Last night a DJ saved my life with a song.
My favorite collab of all time for her has to be Hold It Down. Huge club anthem. Here, overseas, everywhere. That's a heavy tune.
The production is incredible. incredible.
The combination of the syncopated drums, the bass, the funky bass.
The lyrics are really serious and personal.
The strings and Alma, it's just future soul.
Move your body, stop. Now move your mind. You know what I'm saying?
She could go anywhere and sing it, and it'll be packed.
Alma's my girl, you know? It's just no fronting on Alma, man. Across the board. Big rooms in Holland, big rooms in Japan, little tiny rooms in Calgary. She rocks the spot. They say that the truth will set you free, and I see a lot of tense people at Alma Horton shows, and when she gets done performing and they leave the building, they actually feel free.
She's at the top of a mountain with a bunch of other people at her top of the mountain. If you want to compare people, you might as well compare Alma with Jill with Ursula Rucker, because they all come from similar yet different backgrounds. Alma is a soul singer. She's singing songs. Jill is singing poetry. And Ursula is reading poetry behind music.
Hit me one time, y'all.
And she's not afraid to show her emotion while she's singing. It's so warm and it's so like effortless.
Like that.
It's effortless.
One more time. Should I do it? Should I tell me hit it one more time? All right. Come on, hit me one more again. Whoa, whoa.
I mean, she makes you feel like, hey, I want to just try singing. You know what I mean? Just sing. Like, I don't even have to sound good, but I just want to have that feeling, you know?
Lady Alma and the family wants to set you free. I said that.
She's like relating to us. She's singing things that we can relate to, and she's also talking to us, bringing us into the mix.
Don't worry about a little thing. Lady Alma said, don't worry about a little thing. Don't worry about a little thing.
It's relationship songs, and songs about being loved and being hurt and just real life stuff.
I'm going to give you what is needed in a show, and that's love and the joy that I feel when I'm up on that stage. Jazzy Jeff has a song called Love What You Do and Do What You Love, and that's what I'm doing. I love what I do, and I can only do what I love. When I stop loving what I do, then it's time to move on.
There's a guarantee you can count.
Hope you're enjoying yourself so far. Again, my name is Daryl Cuba, and you're watching Real Black TV. Big Sis is the name of our roving reporter, and she recently filmed for us a segment of the Pantene Total U Tour, which celebrates the beauty of black women.
I'm Big Sis with Real Black, and we're here today at the Pantene Total U Tour. There's workshops, live performances, and salons. Also, there are a lot of celebrities here today, and we had a chance to talk to a few. Welcome to Real Black.
Oh, thank you so much. It's nothing like being here in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. And that's why we are here for the Pantene Total U Tour, because I know that you know that it's all about mind, body, and spirit. It's women celebrating ourselves for all the things we do, what we've done, and what we're going to do.
Well, you're very inspirational on the radio with Tom Joyner in the morning show.
And people don't know, I've actually worked for Tom for 20 years. No, actually over 20 years. But he was the one who came up with the idea of me doing the tips for the single moms. People always ask, are you really a single mom? Yes, I'm a single mom. You have to take a deep breath when you say I'm a single mom. It's like, but it has been such a blessing because so many other single moms have come up to me and said, you have been such a great inspiration, because it's a struggle, but it's not anything that we can't turn into a blessing.
That's correct, and you're doing a wonderful job balancing your career and your children.
Excuse me, I only have one child, for the record. Don't put it out there. I got a bunch of babies running around. Those are not my kids, okay?
I'd like to talk about your earlier years in comedy and Robin Harris.
Oh my God, who told you about Robin Harris? Robin Harris is one of the great stand-up comics. I mean, before people talked about Steve Harvey and D.L. Hughley and Martin Lawrence and Bernie Mac, there was Robin Harris. And in Los Angeles, there was a place called the Comedy Act Theater, which is one of the first black comedy clubs in the country.
Now, I don't see my wife out there tonight. I'm so glad. No, I don't see her out there. Shoot, I'm glad she ain't out there. I hate my wife, y'all. People ask me why I wear my wedding ring on the wrong finger, because I married the wrong woman.
We used to call it Robin's house. He was the MC, and he would come in there, and it didn't matter who came through the door, common man or celebrity. If you came in there late, he would say, spotlight, and just tear your butt up.
You're always talking about your wife. Oh, you better be glad to have a wife.
Who is that?
It's me. You're always talking about some woman.
That's that woman with that Neiman Marcus behind her. Looks good, but ain't what the damn. Look at her. Look at this. Look at this. And you got on them press-on nails too, ain't you?
You got it right. I'm gonna press on you.
Robin Harris was like my heart. He was one of my very dearest friends, and he was so supportive of me when I was out there, and he was like, you can do this, because I was still working the 9 to 5, you know, hustling, and he said, Myra, you only got one chance to really get out there and say, I'm gonna give this a try.
I bet I see no woman in here laughing. Y'all got a lot of nerve to laugh with them damn wigs you wear. I went out one night, Myra, this is the truth. Went to a club, and a lady was out there dancing, had long, pretty hair.
Like mine.
Like going, no, not like yours.
He said, nobody's gonna come knock on your door and say, hey, you wanna be a comedian? He said, you really just have to get out there. And with his support and his encouragement, I quit that 9 to 5 job. Now, it was some struggle. I'm not gonna say that it was easy, but it was some of the best advice I ever had.
We have Judge Mablean with us here, and you look so different. I mean, we're used to seeing you with the robe and on television on divorce court.
That's who I am, for real.
So tell us where you're from and where you grew up.
Oh, I was born in Hazelhurst, Mississippi, and I left there at age 5, and the family migrated to Los Angeles, so I grew up in Los Angeles.
And what inspired you to become, to do what you do now?
What inspired me to become a lawyer and a judge? 8th grade, my father had a stroke, and he was 53 years old. He applied for Social Security disability. They denied his claim. My mother still had 7 children to finish raising, so we couldn't afford the services of a lawyer. She and I together kept fighting the Social Security system, doing the appeals. I then decided that I should be a lawyer so that my family would always have someone there to protect their rights. I also was encouraged by my mother and church people and people that knew me that said that I talked so much that I would argue with a signpost, so therefore I should become a lawyer. And it was those kinds of things. And then understanding the civil rights era really sealed it for me when I realized that all of change comes about through the law. So all of the change that we experience now, the ability to go to any hotel, the ability to be here at the convention center, et cetera, came about through as a result of the Civil Rights Act, and all of that was inspired through laws.
How do you feel about the way women are portrayed on television?
Well, there are a lot of negative images of women on television, but I don't like it. But it appears that I'm more concerned about the women themselves who are willing to be portrayed in such light. That causes me the concern that young women will go on the videos and shaking their rumps and dressed half naked. It can't be portrayed if we were to take a stand and refuse to do it. So if we want people to respect us in any light, and if you want people to think of you differently, then you have to do it yourself. When you're growing up, you're always looking for role models, and I recognize that that's one of my purposes. I've been blessed to have had some wonderful role models in my life and to have had a lot of people pour into my life and to bless me. And so that's all I try to do is give back what has been given to me. So as I get older and as I get wiser, and I realize how important it is. And I've had several young people today that came up to get autographs, and they were saying to my goddaughter, "You're so fortunate to have a mother like her and to have someone in your life." And I realize that there are a lot of young people around in particular whose parents are not training them, not teaching them, not spending a lot of time with them, and not letting them, you know, feel and know that they can achieve whatever it is that they desire, and not pushing. So it's important for us who have achieved to reach back and to say to other people that you can do it as well.
We need somebody to sing to.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
Every first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips said hello, and I said hi. I knew right then you were the one. But I was caught up to physical attraction, but to my satisfaction, baby, more than just a face. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. If I ever fall in love, so true, baby, I will be sure that the lady's just like you. Oh, yeah.
That was wonderful.
What's up, y'all? We are JU-TAUN, and you're watching Real Black.
Quelles sont tes idées politiques quant aux problèmes et aux relations blanc-noir aux États-Unis?
Je ne discute pas de ça. Je suis pas que ça explique assez clair. Mon politique, c'est de gagner. Ça, c'est mon politique.
Sweetback set a tone where people were really considering, well, maybe you can beat the man.
For Melvin to come when he did and show a film where we were the victim, you know, that's monumental.
There's a fear of blackness, and Melvin saw blackness emerging as a commercial aspect of popular culture.
At some point in life, my dad threw the rule book out. He said, I'm gonna do what I wanna do.
Tonight, Melvin's going to tackle, well, he's going to be talking about, I'm going to let you figure it out.
I have the housing solution. Here goes. Hookers and the homeless.
the homeless needs beds, right? A bed is not much when you got one, everything when you don't. Every hooker should be assigned a homeless person who gets the mattress when she's not using it.
If I don't see it, then I do it myself. That's what happened with film, with music, writing. I didn't see the type of things I wanted to see, so I did it myself.
Loud, 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 cow. It's a nightmare. That's what it is, old buddy. Nightmare.
First rule of Hollywood, never spend your own money, and there's no guarantees. You don't know if it's going to work out. You know, I didn't have a completion bond. Anything could have happened, and I wouldn't have been able to finish the movie. When I was in production, you know, I was like a conquistador dragging a galleon over the mountains or something. I didn't care. I was going to do what it took to get that movie in the can. You know, once I was in at a certain point, I had to go all the way. I had no choice but to finish it, because half a movie does me no good. 3/4 of a movie does me no good. 7/8 of a movie does me no good. I had to get all the coverage in the can, or I would have nothing. I would have been out everything I spent. And there wasn't a distributor at the time, so I spent all this money on this movie, and you're not guaranteed a release, you're not guaranteed anything. It's an incredibly risky thing to do. If you're Bill Gates, yeah, write the check. But me, I put my house on the line. I borrowed money against my house. I'm scared of losing it.
We're talking to David Ayer today, the screenwriter and director of Harsh Times, starring Kristen Bell, Freddie Rodriguez, and Desperate Housewife Ava Longoria. David also is the creator of Training Day, which Denzel Washington took home the Oscar for. How did you break into the business?
After I got out of the military, I was an electrician, and I went to wire the screenwriter's house in the Hollywood Hills, and this guy Wesley Strick, and he read a couple short stories I'd written about the Navy, and he's like, hey, you got something here, you got some talent, you know how to write characters, you know, write good dialogue, and why don't you write a script? All right, so there my tool belt on, and you know, something clicked. It's like you know, this was opportunity knocking. I mean, this was opportunity kicking the door down, you know, and I wrote that script, you know, and it wasn't a movie, it wasn't a mature piece of work, but it got me, you know, into some rooms, got me into some meetings, and people were like, okay, you know, keep at it, and we'll read whatever you write, which is really common, you know, they meet writers, and you want to see how they write and how they develop, because you got to write a lot of scripts before you really get the format down. And you know, after like five or so scripts, I wrote on Training Day. And that was the one, you know, that got me work. That was my calling card. That became like my business part of the business. Training Day is the only spec script I've ever sold. Training Day was like an original idea. I wrote Training Day for me. So I wanted to take pleasure in writing. I wanted to write about the neighborhood. I wanted to write about something I knew. And I started getting rejected. So I figured I'd write something I knew they would reject. That way I'd be ready for it.
You never know, that's the point.
Plot of Harsh Times, Christian Bale plays an Army Ranger coming back from Iraq, trying to get his act together. He's going to marry his girlfriend in Mexico and join the LAPD. Things go a little wrong, but it's a movie about best friends. If you've ever had a best friend, you definitely want to see this movie. I wrote the script, and it got into the Sundance Screenwriter Lab, so I did some development on it. You know, they bring in mentors, and they were like working writers. You know, one of them was Allison Anders, who worked with me on the script. Sundance is all about putting your emotion on the page, not being afraid to show emotion, and not being afraid to put in your work and hanging it out there, no matter what happens.
Yo, mate. Yeah. They're sending me to Colombia.
Colombia.
The best work is, if you're afraid of what you're writing, that's your best work.
What about Martha, you know?
Ain't gonna happen. They told me not to get married.
Sat on a shelf for years, you know, and I've had a couple of people approach me about directing it, you know, a couple of directors, you know, kind of circled around it, you know, I'm like, no, I gotta do this myself, I gotta do it myself. I always wrote it with the intention of directing it. I'm a director now, I'm getting recognized as a director, I got deals with the majors to direct, and it's my calling, I mean, it's my passion. It's the road I'm gonna walk. And, you know, my advantage is, you know, to be a director, you gotta know a writer, because you need a script, but, you know, I can generate my own material, but I'll take the story, good story from anywhere, you know, whether it's someone else's script or a book or, you know, who knows what, but I'm always, you know, I'm open to wherever the good idea comes from, wherever the good material is. I guess the lesson there is if you believe in what you're doing and you're doing it for yourself and you're doing it from your heart, you're going to succeed. You know, that'll always be the truest material, that'll always be your strongest voice, as opposed to like, hey, what are these guys going to buy? And just writing it for someone else doesn't really work. This is David Ayer, and you're watching Real Black TV.
Thanks for being a part of the Real Black experience. Please visit our website, realblack.com, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Let me tell you black.